Hello there, this is the Angry DM. If you were hanging out with me on Twitter a little bit earlier, you heard me mention an old NES title called Shadowgate, which I claim to have very fond, sarcastic air quotes, memories of, because it was a game filled with obtuse, unsolvable puzzles with death basically around every turn. Everything you touched, everything you didn't touch, everything you looked at, everything you tried to use would kill you. Anyway, I happened to find a copy of this online, a port done by someone named Larry McDuck over at gameshot.org. And I thought it would be fun to jump back in and see how much I can remember. The game originally came out, I think, in 1989, but I've played it a couple of times since then, but not in a long while. So I thought it would be fun to kind of show off the game a little bit. So come along for the ride, because just talking about it doesn't really do it justice, and I'll walk you through it as far as I remember until the first time I screw up and die. And we start off outside the gates of the castle, and gives us the story, but I'll sum up. There's an evil wizard. He's going to summon a monster called the Behemoth. A good wizard chooses you as the hero of the realms, and without any warning at all, teleports you naked and screaming to the gates of the evil wizard's castle, the castle Shadowgate. I'm not kidding about that naked and screaming. You literally have no items at the start of the game except one torch, and if your torch ever goes out, you will immediately take one step and trip and fall and crack your skull and bleed to death, which means the good wizard has chosen someone who is both incredibly clumsy and hemophiliac, apparently. But anyway, so we go ahead and we're gonna start playing here, and we'll see how far we can get. And one of the first puzzles you have to solve by figuring it out somehow is that you open this skull, and inside there is a key, and if you don't take it, the next room is a dead end. So also, you'll notice down here I've got this little square. This is a map of the room you're currently in, and it shows the exits. So there's one exit right in front of me, which I can take. And then in the next room, get taunted by the evil wizard's evil eyeballs. So, and this is Shadowgate. So we're going to collect all the torches, because if I run out of torches, I'm going to trip and fall and die. Use the key I found to get through the first door and move in. And we'll take the torches. And you'll notice right away that this torch that I just took, this is a special torch. There's something odd about it, but I can't tell what it is. And that's an excellent clue. You know, when the game basically says, I don't know, this is useful for something, you know that that's a great clue. Meanwhile, I'm going to open this book, because if you take the book, a pit trap will open and kill you. But if you open the book, you can take a key out of it. And you can also figure out by guessing that if you hit that block, it opens that rock, it opens a passageway behind you. But in the meanwhile, I think that key that I just took, yeah, that opens that door, and we can go in there. And this is where the evil wizard, stores his weapons for use by good adventurers who have come to defeat him. You know, because you have to do that to keep the dungeon up to code. So, okay, this is actually one of the few traps that won't kill you outright if you try to use that. If you try to go up to that door, the ledge breaks and falls, but it says basically, you know, don't do that again, but it doesn't kill you. Okay. Oh, right. Okay, so we can't take these torches, but one of the things you can figure out by psychically divining it is that you can use that torch to open a secret passage, and then we go in. And this one's pretty obvious. If you try to cross the right-hand bridge right now, it'll break and you'll fall and you'll die. So we don't do that. And oh, okay. So this is the Wraith. And the Wraith, if you do the wrong thing against the Wraith, I think it kills you. I'm not sure, but we're not going to try it. But if you do the right thing, which is to light that special torch Yeah. Okay, and that kills the Wraith. And you figure that out because the torch... Well, because the Wraith... Oh, okay, because, get this, so the torch said that there's something strange about it, and you can't put your finger on it, right? And a Wraith is incorporeal, so you can't put your finger on a Wraith either, and that's the clue, I guess. Yeah. So here in the next room, we encounter our first potion bottles, and there's no labels on the potion bottles, but if you look at them, whoops, we want to look at it, we don't want to use it. Okay, it smells terrible. That's a clue that potion bottle 1 is just going to kill you. And potion bottle 2, okay, that's the bottle is light. That's a clue that if you drink it, it makes you light. And then you can cross that rickety bridge that we saw. But if we go back and do that right now without a certain item that we get later on, we won't be able to move it forward, and then we'll have wasted the bottle, so we won't be able to get back, and then we'll die. There's also, which you figure out by trafficking in the arcane, I guess, a secret door back there, but we can't go any further in that direction just yet. And then we'll look at that scroll we just took, and it's a scroll because we're brilliant. Right. Okay. You have to open the scroll to read it. And oh, okay. This scroll is the clue to the last puzzle in the dungeon, which involves using 3 items together to defeat the behemoth. You have to combine them in a certain order, and 2 other items to get into the room. So there's a total of 5 items you need to beat the game. My torch is going out, so I have to light a new torch or I'll die. And then you can't take this rope, but if you look at the sign, if you look at the sign, nothing happens. I thought it was... Oh, wait. If you look at the sign twice, because, you know, the first time, obviously... I don't know. You just look at the sign twice. That's how it works. How the hell should I know? So you look at the sign twice, and then suddenly you learn a magic spell called Epor, which is rope spelled backwards, so then you somehow guess that you have to say that spell out loud using the speak command, and it makes the rope climb up into the ceiling. And there you go. And now we can move forward up the ceiling. Fine. And then we're in the mirror room. We can't do anything here yet, but if we had come here first before we did the thing with the rope, then we could go down that trapdoor and we would fall and die. And we have to open the door behind us. And move through it. And here, the coffin room. Now, this coffin here, this second coffin, if you open that, green slime will spill out across the hallway, and if you try to walk down the hallway after that, you'll dissolve and you'll die. And I think this one has a... No, shit, okay. Oh, okay. No, that's the Banshee, and the Banshee, it doesn't kill you the first time, but if we open that coffin again, it'll kill us. And that one doesn't open. That one's got the little bag, and we'll open the little bag and take the copper coins. And this one... Okay, that one's the mummy. And the mummy, which you figure out by consulting game facts, I guess, or whatever, is the mummy has a scepter in it, so you burn the mummy away and take the scepter. I'm actually doing pretty good here. So we move through the door behind us, and now we're at this 4-way intersection, and I think if we move back one more, yeah, then we're back to that passage, so that it kind of loops around. But we're going to go, I think we want to go to the left first. Whoops. So the left here, okay, this room is cold, and later on we'll be able to get a magic item related to that, but right now we can't. We just take the torches. And if you climb down this trapdoor, even though there's a ladder there, it turns out that the ladder is only like 3 rungs long or something, and if you drop down, and you'll basically slip and fall and die. So we move on. And now we end up in the dragon hallway. There's a dragon at the far end of the room, and the puzzle you figure out by I guess dying and restarting several times is that you have to pick up the shield first. And if you pick up the shield first, then the dragon will breathe fire at you, but you'll block it with the shield. And now every time you take an item here, the dragon is going to breathe fire, and you'll protect yourself with the shield. But eventually the shield gets melted because it can only take so many blasts of flame, and you have no idea how many blasts of flame the shield can actually take. It's just, just a surprise. And you can't take the pile of gold, and you can't take the treasure chest, so you have to somehow know through predicting the future that you need certain items here. So we took the spear, and we'll take the hammer, and we need the helmet, and there's a riddle later on where we'll need a skull. So we'll take one skull, and then we pretty much done with the rest of the shit. Okay, so no, I didn't need the skull, I guess, or there's another skull later on, that's right. So anyway, my shield melts, and my body burns away, and I'm dead. And that's Shadowgate. Yeah.